Mr. Horsepower, coming at you again from Buzzard Creek. Let me tell you how to tune your bike with a 2 liter bottle. Um, I'll tell you exactly how this happened to me. I was at Planet Sand down at Gilbert, and this would have been. I think it was 2006 when I broke into the 3 second zone for the first time, first 4 stroke in the threes. And we had been running the day before. Uh, I won't go into all the problems we had. I broke spindles, and a guy went and machined some for me. Drove 3 hours down to his shop, back, got back at 4 a.m. I went and got them, and I got a picture somewhere of me with the bike up in the trailer installing these new spindles because I had set my bike down hard, and I had aluminum spindles on it. And hold up. Hello. Yeah, going good. How about you? You want me to head over so we can take some measurements on that part? I All right, I turn by the bluegrass and just snake down through there, past and go on down there past the S curve. How many miles are you from when I turn at the bluegrass? About 7. Okay, you're on the right. You'll be on the okay. All right, we'll be there in about. We'll be there in about 20 minutes. All righty, see you then. All right, bye. Where was I? Got the bike together. I had made runs, and okay, the day before we had finished a 2 liter of Mountain Dew, and I just put the lid on it and I set it there in the trailer. And we came in that next morning, and when we finished the 2 liter of Mountain Dew, it was about noontime. It was hot and humid, and a front had rolled in overnight and had cooled down, and it was a little bit cooler. It's still humid, but I didn't notice a lot of difference. And we got back from the hotel, got into the race trailer to put them spindles on, and I just glanced down at that 2 liter bottle, and it was crushed down. It was like half the size, and I said, look at that. And I said, we've had a major change in air density. We're gonna have to richen this bike up, and because when the barometric pressure goes up, the air gets heavier, and you can turn the fuel up, make more power. That's what every racer wants, is that good air. And temperature and humidity don't matter near as much as barometric pressure. And that bottle, that barometric pressure had risen quite a bit, and that bottle was crushed down because when I put the lid on it, it was the day before about noon, and it was stayed in the shade. So it had sealed the barometric pressure from the day before, and I was tuned up for that barometric pressure. And so with that bottle sealed, and I looked at it and it was crushed down, I knew the barometric pressure had risen and crushed that bottle down because the air was heavier and trying to compress that bottle. So I said, hey, we're going to have to fatten this thing up and put some fuel to it. So we did. We did do that. And we pulled out there, and I had made a few adjustments, and I'll give credit to Jace Packard. He gave me a couple of tips on my bike wasn't running straight down the track, and I was fighting it, and he gave me a couple of tips of what to do to get that bike to go straight, and I took his advice and did just what he said, and my first pass was qualifying pass for the 4-stroke open single cylinder class, and I popped off a 396 on that run, and from his advice and from looking at that 2-liter bottle and turning the fuel up on that bike, that's what put us in the 3.9s. So if you don't have or can't afford a high dollar weather station or an air density gauge or whatnot, you just take a 2-liter bottle, and you find a time when your bike is running good, and you just take that empty 2-liter and cap it, and keep it in the shade, and you just keep an eye on that thing, and as the night goes on or the next morning or it gets noon, if that thing swells up, then you're losing barometric pressure and you need to lean out. If it crushes in, you're gaining barometric pressure, and you need to fatten that bike up. And hey, it's not a perfect setup, but you're going to be better than the next guy that hadn't made a change at all. He might think, hey, we got some cold weather, the temperatures drop, I got a richen. That don't matter. Barometric pressure means everything. So that's a poor boy's way of tuning a race engine with an empty 2-liter bottle. We'll catch you next time.